Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to our video. Are you ready to learn something new today? Because learning is not just important, it is powerful. It helps us grow, explore, and understand the world around us. So sit back, stay curious, and let's start learning together. Welcome to our video. My name is Rob Jed A. Tungkin, and we'll be tackling about social networking and education global perspective. In today's interconnected world, social networking is no longer just a space for entertainment. It is a powerful educational tool. Social networking has become a key part of modern education. Platforms like Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok are now used not only for communication, but also for learning, collaboration, and engagement. Globally and locally, these tools support classroom activities, especially in remote or digital learning setups. This report explores how social media works, its role in education, and its benefits and challenges. It also examines how cultural, economic, and political factors shape its use across countries. By understanding these dynamics, we gain insight into how social networking can effectively support teaching and learning in today's digital world. And now, before we proceed to the exciting part of our discussion, let us first have our learning objectives. By the end of the lesson, student will be able to define social networking and explain how it works, describe its roles in education, identify at least three benefits and two challenges of using social media in learning, and recognize how cultural, economic, and political factors influence global usage of social networking. They will be able to create a simple digital or written output like infographic, video, or slides that presents the positive and negative effects of social media in education, supported by examples from local and global contexts. And lastly, they will be able to demonstrate responsible social media behavior by stating at least one class rule or personal action for safe, respectful, and educational use of social networking platforms. And now we are on the lesson 1 of our discussion, how social networking works. We'll be tackling about two perspectives. We have the global perspective and local perspective here in the Philippines. Social networking platforms are digital spaces where individuals interact, build relationships, and share content through the internet. These platforms function using algorithms that personalize the user's experience based on their online behavior. According to Kaplan 2021, social networking like Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok use algorithmic filtering to show content most relevant to the user, thus encouraging continuous engagement. According to Boyle and Ellison 2020, further explains that users can construct a profile, connect with others, and interact within the system's network of relationships. And now let's also tackle about local perspective here in the Philippines. In the Philippine context, Mendoza and Alonzo 2020 found that social networking works as an effective communication bridge for students through Facebook groups, students engaged in academic discussions, accessing learning materials, and collaborate on group tasks. Similarly, according to David and Manuel 2021, emphasized that Filipino students often use Messenger to quickly communicate with their peers and teachers, showing how local usage patterns mirror global trends in platform functionality. And now, we'll be tackling about the role of social media in education. Social media has transformed traditional educational settings into more dynamic, collaborative, and accessible environment. Internationally, Al-Ratmi et al. 2021 highlighted that social networks tools play a vital role in promoting student engagement and academic performance in higher education. These platforms provide a space for real-time feedback, resource sharing, and community building among students and teachers. Locally, this trend is strongly evident. According to David and Manuel 2021, during the pandemic, they observed that social networking sites became crucial in sustaining learning continuity among Filipino students. Teachers use Facebook, Google Classroom, and Messenger to distribute modules, hold synchronous discussions, and maintain student-teacher interactions. Similarly, Perez and Santos 2020 documented how teachers in Metro Manila adopted TikTok to creatively teach lessons, making learning more relatable and engaging. And now we'll be tackling about the top 4 benefits of social media in education. First, it improved engagement. Second, accessible learning resources. Peer support and motivation, that is the third one. And lastly, development of digital skills. Now, improved engagement. In what way? It encourages active participation, especially through interactive content and visual formats. This is according to Al-Rame et al. 2021. TikTok and video-based tools improve attention span and interest among Filipino students. This is according to Perez and Santos 2022. Now, accessible learning resources. In what way? Educational videos, tutorials, forums, and academic pages are available 24/7. Students can review and revisit content anytime at their own pace. This is according to Mendoza and Alonzo 2020. Now, peer support and motivation. It in a way that it boosts motivation through community support, feedback, and peer encouragement. Online communities reduced feeling of isolation, especially in remote learning. This is according to Mockbell and Koch 2022. Now, lastly, development of digital skills. How? Using social media helps students become familiar with digital tools, improved online communication, and learning how to use technology for learning. Now, in the Philippines, students learned how to edit videos, post responsibly, and share educational content through apps like TikTok and Facebook. This is according to Perez and Santos 2022. A study by Al Marof et al. 2020 also showed that social media use helps students to build confidence in using technology, which is useful for school or future job. And that's it for my part. I hope you learned something new and valuable. Now, let's keep learning going, or let's keep the learning going. Please give your attention to the next reporter.
Good day, everyone. I am Stephanie May Rodriguez, and today I will be tackling about the global usage of social networking. So as you can see in the line graph, it highlights the steady growth in global social media users. So this line graph is from the year 2020 to 2025. It shows the global social media growth rate. So from the 2020, there has a 3.6 billion users, 2021, 4.2 billion users, and the year 2022, it has 4.59 billion users, and in the 2023, it has 4.88 billion users, and in the 2024, it has 5.04 billion users. In the 2025, it has 5.31 billion users. So from 3.6 billion users in the year 2020 to 5.31 billion users in the 2025, this marks a 47.5% increase in just 5 years. So it is really evident that social media has so many users. So in 2025 alone saw a growth of 241 million users according to Data Reportal's April 2025 report. This data is from Data Reportal in the year 2025, which now accounts for 64.7% of the world's population. So it is really evident that social media has so many usage and it covers the world's population. It is because through the advent of technology, we are now in the 21st century and we are now in the digital age or digital era, wherein technology is rampant nowadays and it also upgrade each year or each day. It has so many updated technologies. That is why social media is continue to evolving, because it is used for communicating, for businesses, or in any other circumstances. It is also helpful in educational setting as a educational tool. Social media has so many many sides or many importance that many uses that it can offer to the users. That is why it has so many users in social media. So now, let's move on to the most used social media platforms worldwide in the year 2024. First in the line is the Facebook. Facebook remains the most used platform with 3.5 billion users worldwide. It is because Facebook is commonly used here in the Philippines. Most of all the Filipinos use Facebook because they find it more accessible, and we can use Facebook even if we don't have a load or a Wi-Fi connection. That is why Facebook is first in the line and followed by the YouTube. It has 2.5 billion users commonly used for both education and entertainment. It is because YouTube has a lot of video tutorials or video lessons that can help students in their educational projects or educational context, or when they are searching for an idea about the specific lesson YouTube has to offer. And also entertainment, because it has so many vloggers in the YouTube and it offers a lot of entertainment to the people. And the next one is the WhatsApp and Instagram. Each have 2 billion users, reporting their widespread use in communication and content sharing. Of course, WhatsApp, it's commonly used in the United States, and also in Instagram, many of us Filipinos use Instagram. That is why it is third in the line. It is commonly used for communication and content sharing. And the next one is the TikTok. So, TikTok is growing fast with 1.5 billion users, popular use in classroom for short educational videos and entertainment. And educational videos that can help students to have an idea on how to create something, or it can also help us students look for some examples about what we are searching about in our assignments or projects. And the last one is we have WeChat. So WeChat mostly used in China and it has 1.3 billion users, showing a strong regional dominance. So above all, this social media application or social media platforms, the first in the line is the Facebook, because people find it more accessible and we can use it even we don't have a load or a Wi-Fi connection. That is why it is first in the line. And we should always remember that even though this social media platforms is very helpful for us people in terms of communicating, purchasing things through online, making it more accessible, and it also help us students in our educational projects or educational needs. But we should always remember to be more responsible in using this one. We should look for those reliable sources, or for this information has came from reliable sources. And that's all for my part, and I hope you learned something today. Thank you for listening.
Good day everyone, I am Nicole Peracho Palomar. So now we are going to proceed to our next topic, Lesson 3, Social Networking and Education. So how is social networking used in education? Social networking is used in education primarily to enhance communication, collaboration, and engagement among students, teachers, and even parents. Platforms like Facebook, Google Classroom, YouTube, TikTok, WhatsApp have been repurposed for learning activities ranging from sharing assignments, conducting discussions, streaming lectures, and giving feedback. According to Tayabinik and Pute 2020, social networking encourages active learning by supporting peer interaction and digital collaboration. Similarly, Cruz and Caballero 2022 in the Philippines found that students in rural high schools use Facebook groups to supplement modular learning, especially during internet disruptions. Downsides of using social media in the classroom. So while beneficial, social networking in education also parents challenges. First is distraction from lessons due to unrelated content. So social media platforms are designed to be engaging, leading to distractions from learning. Students may spend class time checking unrelated content, reducing focus and productivity. Next is cyberbullying and privacy risk. Social media can facilitate cyberbullying where students may harass or abuse peers or even teachers online. Additionally, students may inadvertently share personal information online, jeopardizing their privacy and safety. Educators need to address these concerns through clear guidelines and responsible online behavior training. Third is digital inequality. Especially in underserved areas, unequal access to technology and reliable internet creates a digital divide, particularly affecting underserved communities. This disparity necessitates equitable resources allocation and strategies to bridge the digital gap to ensure inclusive learning. According to Davidi et al. 2021, noted that misuse of social media in academic setting leads to poor time management and reduced focus. In a local study, Llamas and Tegarao 2021 observed that students from public high school in Quezon Province often lack stable internet and gadgets, widening that digital divide. Best practices for social media in education. To maximize benefits and minimize harm, the following best practices are recommended. First is establish guidelines and digital citizenship policies. So clear guidelines and policies are crucial. This could cover acceptable online behavior, responsible content sharing, privacy expectations, and consequences for violations. Policies should address cyberbullying, plagiarism, and appropriate online interactions. Next is use privacy groups for academic discussions. So for class-related discussion and assignments, private groups on platforms like Facebook or dedicated learning management systems are recommended. This ensures confidentiality and prevents unauthorized access to sensitive information or discussions. Third is integrate interactive tools like polls, live Q&A, and videos. So enhance engagement by incorporating interactive tools. Polls can gauge student understanding, Live Q&A sessions foster real-time interaction, and videos can enhance visual learning. These tools cater to diverse learning styles and create more dynamic learning experiences. Fourth is providing training for teachers and students on digital literacy. So, comprehensive training on digital literacy is essential. Teachers need training on effectively using social media for educational purposes, while students need guidance on safe and responsible online behavior, including privacy settings, critical evaluation of online information, and avoiding online harassment. This training empowers both educators and students to navigate the digital landscape effectively and safely. So according to Al Maroof et al. 2020, emphasized that positive academic outcomes occur when schools implement structured social media use. Meanwhile, DepEd's 2023 webinar series encouraged teachers to adopt social media responsibly by aligning content with K-12 curriculum standards. Once again, I am Nicole P. Palomar. Thank you for listening.
Good day, everyone. I am Matuog Angela Cathin R. from BISAD Socsci 3, and today I will be sharing with you the lesson 4 and 5 of our topic in Chapter 7, Social Networking and Education Global Perspective. Okay, let's begin. Lesson 4, Privacy Issues. One of the major challenges in using social media is privacy. Most apps collect our names, location, and even search history. If we don't manage our settings properly, this information can be shared or even stolen. A lot of students don't know how to make their accounts private, which can lead to risks like identity theft or receiving unwanted messages. So according to Nakario and Gracia 2020, many young users don't fully understand how their data is being used. Another serious issue is cyberbullying. This happens when people use social media to harm others through mean comments, spreading false stories, or posting embarrassing photos. Like, the effects are painful, right? Students may feel scared, sad, or lose confidence. In the Philippines, about 4 in 10 students say they've been bullied online, based on a study by Digisman and Corpus in 2020. Okay, do you understand our discussion? Very good. Now let's move on to the lesson 5, which is it is all about the global perspective, specifically in cultural factors. So, starting with culture, the way people use social media depends on where they live. For example, in US and Canada, students often use LinkedIn and Reddit for group work. Are you familiar with this? And in Japan and South Korea, people use more private, design-based apps like Line or KakaoTalk. And in the Philippines, we mostly used Facebook, Messenger, and TikTok for chatting, sharing notes, or even submitting assignments. Right? Okay, very good. Now, let's move on to the economic factors. Let's talk about economy. In richer countries, students have good internet and more access to gadgets. In developing countries like in the Philippines, we face many problems like slow internet and not having devices for online learning, right? So this creates a digital divide. Some students move ahead while having others get left behind. Do you understand? Alright, now let's move on to the political factors. Politics also plays a big role, and governments can support or limit social media during the pandemic. For example, DepEd helped bring learning online, but some countries like China Apps like Facebook and YouTube are black. But in the Philippines, social media is mostly free, but laws like Cybercrime Prevention Act are used to reduce cyberbullying and online crime. All right. Have you understand our discussion? Very good. So to end this discussion, social media can be very helpful, but it comes with risk. If we understand privacy, cyberbullying, and how culture, economy, and politics affect social media use, we can use it more responsibly and safety. So that's it. Thank you, and I hope this will help you learn something new.